What a night of UFC 323 at T-Mobile Arena. All of the main card winners coming to visit us here backstage. McKenzie Pavacich, Dan Hellie, the champ, Chris Weidman in the house as per usual. This is about last fight. Let's get it going. What a crazy night. We have a majority draw. We have a legend retiring. We have both champs losing their belts in the co-main and the main event. And I know one of them near and dear to your heart, Weidman, your former teammate, Merab Dvalishvili. What a war that was.
Yeah, it was a war, I think Petr did a great job of putting Merab on his back foot. He was able to stop the takedowns and just move Merab backwards. Got a couple of his own takedowns, stuffed a lot of takedowns, and landed some huge shots. The body shots added up, landed some maybe like 3 liver kicks that was visible that it hurt him. Merab was yelling in pain from being hit with it. The poker face wasn't great. It must have been that bad because we know Merab is as tough as it goes. And then also Petr being able to go through all 5 rounds against the machine, and still push the pace, finish with a takedown or close to a takedown at the end. It was an unbelievable fight for Petr.
And we got to give Merab the credit to attempt the 4 title defenses in a year, attempt to make history. But the other thing that really stands out to me, he said it in his Octagon interview, he said, we work really hard to make this entertaining. And I think when Merab became champion, a lot of people were like, oh, here we go, a wrestler, great. And he kind of evolved in a way that he knew would be entertaining to people. And I think sometimes when fighters try to do that, they kind of lose themselves and it just doesn't work. And it worked for Merab. And I think the Petr we saw tonight, maybe the best version ever we've seen of him. And so I think if there's a rematch on the table, I'm excited to see it. But the Petr tonight was different, even different than the one that has been champion before. And so, I don't know, it's good to see someone say, I was hurt the first time that we fought. I'm going to be better this time. And when that actually happens and it's an incredible fight like this one, the last title fight of the ESPN era, I mean, you couldn't go out with more of a bang than that one.
Also, the other question is going to be, he's putting his title on the line 4 times in 1 year. No champion has ever done that. People are like, hey, listen, I know it sounds good to be an active champion, but how active is too active?
Yeah.
And maybe just the activity ended up not being a good thing. You're not healing up from your camps as much as you should and really peaking at the right times. So maybe we learn from that as well.
Yeah.
We saw flashes of the machine tonight, but Petr was so good. And DC said it in the commentary, agreeing with you. This is the best version of Petr Yan that we've ever seen. He didn't allow Merab to do what he does best, and he was stuffing takedowns like crazy. And Petr sat down with us a few moments ago. Petr, you had this unwavering confidence that everybody could see and feel throughout the week. And DC said during the broadcast, this is the best version of Petr Yan that we have ever seen. Do you feel like this is the best you've performed inside a UFC Octagon?
Спасибо огромное. Да, я себя хорошо чувствовал. Я не могу сказать насчет своей лучшего выступления. Я думаю, что вам, наблюдателям, это виднее гораздо.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I felt great the entire week. I was prepared. I don't know if I could say that this is my best performance. I think you as spectators could be the ones to judge.
What was the mindset difference between the first time he fought Merab? Aljo was the champion. I felt like he was he looking through Merab a little bit too much in that first fight and really had his eyes on Aljo because he was the champion?
Чуть не так. Знаете, я очень стремительно пришел к поясу. Очень много допустил ошибок в своих прошлых подготовках. Очень я сильно верил, что я все умею бороться. По факту я ошибался.
Not exactly, but it was more of like I streamlined myself to the belt really quick. I kind of thought that I already knew everything. I got all the skills for everything, and I underestimated how much goes into this championship mentality and the preparation to be a champ.
Я знаю, какие я допускал ошибки перед теми поединками. Знаю, что где-то мне не хватало именно командной работы. И мы это исправили.
I know which mistakes I allowed myself to make before that first fight, And I know that the big thing that was missing was teamwork. And this is something that we fixed. We are now a team.
You were moving him back a lot more in this fight. Was that a big part of the game plan? You stopped his takedowns a lot in the first fight, but he wasn't putting him on his back foot as much as he did in this fight.
Я знаю, чтобы выиграть пояс у чемпиона дома, нужно сделать так, чтобы у судей не осталось шансов сломать бой.
I know that to win a belt from a champion in his hometown, in his house, you have to do whatever you can not to leave any questions for the judges. Make sure that the judges cannot rip that victory away from you.
Я знал, что так просто пояс тебе никто не вручит здесь. Его нужно забрать.
I knew that nobody's just going to hand you the belt here, not here. You have to take it by force.
Last one for me. How does this belt feel around him compared to the first time he won it?
Непередаваемые чувства. Я с Жозе Алдо выиграл бой, потом у меня был бой за пояс временный с Кори Санхейгеном. И сейчас вот это вот. Блин, ну это непередаваемое ощущение.
Cannot even explain to you how that feels. You know, I had that fight with Aldo. Then I think I had the interim fight with Sanhagen, you know. But this, I can't describe this feeling. It's impossible.
Прошло достаточно времени с 2020 года. Я повзрослел, мне сейчас 32 года. И сейчас это все гораздо более осознаннее. Я думаю, вы меня понимаете.
You know, a lot of time has passed since then. I've grown. I'm 32 years old now. And it feels a lot different now, more real now. I think you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch on this too much because this is a happy time, but talking about just the road back here. You held the belt. You lost it. You held an interim belt. It was not unified. You went on a bit of a skid. What pulled you out of that? What was the biggest source of motivation to get back to this belt?
Я вообще по жизни боец. Вот, и вот все вот эти качели по жизни, как-то всегда старался видеть цель, визуализировать ее и просто идти напролом.
You know, I'm actually a fighter in real life. That's what I am. I'm a fighter. All of these ups and downs, you know, all of these curves, these swings, if you will, you know, I'm ready to face all of them and I'm ready to just move forward.
Я с детства говорю еще раз, у меня там 8 детей в семье, я там интернат, переезды, разъезды. И вот жизнь закаляла всю жизнь, в принципе.
You know, I've said this before. I'm one of 8. Had a big family. We had lots of moves. We had, you know, foster time. We had, you know, homes away from home. So all of this kind of made me what I am. It chiseled me into the person that I am.
Сейчас вот это вот здесь вот аккуратненько лежит просто.
And now this fits so well here on my shoulder over here. I like it.
It looks good.
Он как четко переводит, я тебе говорю. Best translator, brother.
Yeah, he really is one of the best translators. We're lucky to have Serge.
Do you feel like you will be facing him right away again in a rematch?
Ни один бой в своей жизни я не выбирал. Поэтому, как решит руководство, матчмейкинг, то я и сделаю.
Never in my life, in my career, have I picked a fight for myself. This is what the organization does. What they say, I'll do.
That's
Is your body good? I know Merab was asking him if he was injured before the fight. He didn't answer. Body's good?
Я думаю, сейчас надо ему в джакузи как раз-таки поехать.
I think he's the one who needs a jacuzzi right now.
Весь his team.
A little rest and recovery probably.
Maybe he's there now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's already in the jacuzzi.
Good.
The body shots were so brutal. Was that part of the game plan, or was there just openings and you took advantage?
Да, у нас были некоторые заготовки, понимание того, чтобы остановить, нужно ломать корпус.
Yes, we had some things that we prepared. We knew that to stop him, we need to break his body, break down the body shots.
And you did that with some takedowns. You actually set a record. The most takedowns Merab had ever surrendered was 2, and you landed 5 successfully. How's that feel?
5?
5.
Боксеры умеют это делать.
Boxers also know how to take people down.
There we go. We'd love to see it. We definitely saw it tonight.
Огромное спасибо моим спарринг-партнерам, ребятам, которые мне помогали. Это Шарапудин Магомедов, это Курбан Гаджиев, это Сарвар. Вот эти ребята помогали мне на протяжении лагеря, и поэтому рекорд сегодня есть у нас.
Yeah, the aforementioned names, the sparring partners, they're the guys that prepared me. They're the guys that were with me the entire time. They're the ones who prepared me to become a champion. So if it wasn't for them, they prepared me for this.
Мой коуч 6 раз отказали ему в визе. Мы вот прям каждый мой бой подавали, ему отказывают. Его прототип здесь сегодня, Ильяс, помогал мне тоже здесь, лапы держал. Блин, а если тренер мой будет здесь, представляете, что мы будем творить, а?
My coach actually has been denied a visa 6 times. Every time we apply for a visa, he cannot get into the States. So his protege is actually here, Ilias, right now, karate combat champion. He's the one who's here. Imagine if my actual coach is also here, what we can do.
Ильяс, карате-комбо, чемпион!
A team of champions, it seems like.
Команда чемпионов у тебя.
We start. Мы начали, брат, скажи.
Yeah, the foundation has been laid down. It's just the start.
Indeed. Well, congratulations, champ.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
So it doesn't sound like Petr Yan's going to be demanding to fight any particular fighter. So maybe we could be seeing that rematch in the very near future with Merab and Petr.
I think we have to, barring there's no serious injuries from either guy, which I think Jan is good, and I think Merab is good. He's the machine. But we just had one of the fights of the year, the fight of the night, and who doesn't want to see that again? Merab is, I think most people would say, the GOAT of the bantamweight division. He defended the belt 3 times on a 14-fight win streak, put his title on the line 4 times in 1 year. The guy deserves a rematch if anybody deserves a rematch.
Yeah, definitely. And to your point, the way that he stepped up this year and the level of activity. And earlier this week, he was like, I don't know, maybe I'll do 4 fights again next year. And in my mind, I was like, Merab, please. Please just take some time off, because Israel Adesanya was similar. He didn't fight 4 times in 1 year, but he was one of the most active champions. And then once the activity fell off, or once that first loss happened, it's kind of hard to recover. And I feel like it all catches up with you. So I want to see the rematch, selfishly, as quickly as we can. But also at the same time, I feel like Merab deserves a little bit of time off, heal any nagging injuries that might exist, because we both know that I'm sure there's a bunch of things wrong, and he just, has been fighting through them.
I think he's incapable of actually having a break.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Even if,
can he take a vacation?
I know even when he goes to Georgia and he's, it's supposed to be a vacation, he's still training like a madman. I don't think he really controls himself. Yeah,
5 rounds this morning.
Yeah.
And some history on both sides. So Merab had the chance to become the first champion to defend 4 times in a year, but Petr joins Dominic Cruz and TJ Dillashaw as just the 3rd bantamweight to reclaim the title. So now that's a feat that Merab could also accomplish should this trilogy happen, should it go his way. But for Petr, so much adversity that he had to overcome. I can't imagine what it was like for him on that 4-fight losing streak, after losing the belt, winning interim, losing the unification bout. Then after that, 2 more fights he didn't win, and now to be champion again. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see, when he won the belt at 27, obviously that's like probably the best moment of his life, obviously other than his kids and when he got married, because you have to say that.
Of course.
You have to say that.
But now you could see how happy he is winning it at 32, knowing everything that he went through. He's just so much happier. I think he appreciates it more. He's not taking it for granted. All the work he had to do to finally get back to this point, and it happens. So Gattel is just huge for him.
So you have one champion fall, and then you have another champion fall in the co-main in a very different fashion in Alexandre Pantoja. Joshua Van was out there for less than 30 seconds before the injury to Pantoja, but the belt does change hands, and the new champ, just 24 years old. I feel like you haven't stopped smiling since you left the Octagon, champ. What does it feel like?
It feel amazing just to hold this belt, and my mom is there to witness it. You know what I mean? When I entered the cage, I was looking for my mom in the crowd, and then I saw her, and I was just smiling from there.
What's that like? What's the motivation that comes from that? Seeing your family, knowing that your extended family is here too, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
They always here at my fight, but they got closer.
A little closer.
This fight. So I get to see them before I actually throw hands and things like that. So it feels amazing.
Wow.
Do people need to start respecting how active you have been? This is your 4th fight in 10 months. Your 21st fight in, 5 years? This is insanity. Are we going to see this kind of activity level?
For sure, man. I want to stay active, you know. So this is what I do.
You've only been training MMA for 5 years?
I've been fighting for 10 years. Yeah. I mean 5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
So what was, I mean, and you're the world champion now. What has been like the most difficult thing for you to be able to accomplish this goal?
I don't think it's difficult, you know what I mean? It's the coaches, man. The training camp is the most difficult one, you know what I mean? So, because I stay in the gym. If I don't stay in the gym, they call me, they blowing up my phone and things like that. So, it's all shout out to my coaches, man. Make it easy road for me.
Is there a certain element of the game that is the hardest for you to like, the thing that you have to work on the most doesn't come as easy?
Thing that I have to work on, wrestling for sure, yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Man.
Were there moments at all throughout the last 5 years where, like, this was obviously the goal, but were there ever moments where you felt like maybe you were, like, losing sight of that goal and that you thought maybe it would take longer?
The fight that I lost, right? Because I want to be the youngest champ ever, and I took that loss, and then I was like, oh, I still hit up my manager. That I was like, hey, you think we could still be the youngest champion? But then, you know, everything happened for a reason. Right now, I'm mentally prepared, physically prepared, and I think this is the right time to be a champion.
Will you settle for second youngest?
Yes.
Second youngest is, I mean,
second youngest is
still an incredible,
cool, right?
it's still an incredible accomplishment. I mean, I don't even, what was I doing at 24? Definitely not champion of the world. What does the reign of Joshua Van look like?
The reign of Joshua Van is I'm going to defend this belt until I retire.
And it sounds like you know who you're going to defend it against first now.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, I don't think that was a real fight, you know. So I feel like Pantoja do deserve a rematch. We're just going to see how the UFC look at this.
Does it feel like bittersweet because there was an injury, or do you just feel happy you got the win and that doesn't matter?
Man, it's bittersweet, you know what I mean? Because like I said, man, he's the greatest of all time in my eyes, and I really want to feel what he's like in the cage and things like that. So, man, it's just crazy that thing happened.
You knew right away that there was something wrong because you didn't go in to land another shot, right? You were looking at, and he was looking at you. You guys, your eyes were locked there.
Yes, I was trying to ground and pound him, but then he was doing his arm like this, and he was like this. And I look at the ref, I was like, what am I going to do? And then I think the ref realized like something was wrong with his arms, and then I didn't know like what was wrong until I look up and like I saw his arms and things like that.
Yeah. I've won a title fight like that, similar. You were probably too young. Yeah. But Anderson Silva broke his leg on me, and it was bittersweet. Mine was in the second round, but it was like you just don't want to win that way because then, you know, you don't get to show everything that you worked on.
Yes, sir. This is like one of my hardest camp, and you know, just sucked that I don't get to put on the show, man.
You say bittersweet because it didn't feel like a real fight, but in the moments, it probably a little confusing where you're like, what's going on? You look at the ref, is the fight over? Does that almost kind of take away from how you envisioned this moment happening?
Yes, it did. It did a little bit. But then I look at my mom and I was like, let me go celebrate. And then I went up the cage and I was like, yeah.
Moms will bring that out of us.
Yes.
That belt is a little heavy, right?
Is that?
The real one is. The real one's a little
like
heavy.
This one? Yeah.
You want to introduce your nephew?
Tell him your name, bro.
My name is Vel.
Wow.
What up, Vel?
What you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a boxer.
Oh, a
Let's go.
boxer
There you go.
specifically, or maybe can we interest you in some mixed martial arts?
Probably.
Okay, all right, we'll see. What do you think about your uncle? Like, how do you, at family gatherings now, like he's got to be, everyone, he's got to be the coolest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
What does tonight look like?
Tonight we go home, we pray, we say some prayer, and thank God, you know, for giving us victory. And probably have some dinner with the whole teams and the family and things like that.
Amazing.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, I wish we got to see more. I know you wish you got to show us more.
Yes.
But I would imagine that it's not going to be very long, considering your activity level, that we see you in the Octagon again early next year at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, whatever the UFC want, they can call me, man. They know my number.
Okay.
See, that's the kind of champion they like. Right?
100%.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? Alexandre was like that too. So you kind of continue this. Anytime there's a new champion, people kind of worry. They're like, well, what's it going to look like now? And I don't think there's any worries here because your activity and what you've done since joining the UFC has been absolutely incredible.
And I also got to say, at 24 years old, you win the world championship, you were the man, and the first thing you want to do is go back and thank God and pray with your family. That you are super grounded. Is it your family that keeps you grounded like that?
It's my family, my faith, my belief. You know, without him, I would have never been here. So I gotta thank the Lord.
I love that. Well, you're about to be in a whirlwind, and I just make sure. My advice to you is to make sure to keep that same mentality the whole way.
Sir.
Both feet on the ground.
Yes, sir.
Save your money. Don't spend it all in one place.
That's my coaches right there. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Get a good
They
financial
help me with
planner.
that.
You're going to need it, brother.
Yeah.
24 years old. You got a long road ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Joshua, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Vel, nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to
Can
meet
we get
you.
an and new? And new.
And new.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Well, maybe not the way that he wanted to win it, as he alluded to, but he is the champion now, and we talked about it a little bit the last time he was here. He took a picture with the belt, which is kind of taboo for some guys, but he really manifested it. He made it happen. We talked about his confidence all week long and how he just had that aura about him, that belief.
Yeah. And sometimes in a fight, when you see the challenger walk in, kind of reminded me a little bit like a touch of Ilya with the confidence and the way that he shows up, he dresses, he had the cameras. And all week, I think it's to get into the headspace to face someone like Alexandre Pantoja, you kind of have to get into the headspace of I'm already champion. And he came in, he remembered exactly how he held the belt back the last time he was here, and we took a picture so that they could do a side-by-side. But what I really loved was in his Octagon interview, he said, I am the fearless, and I'll fight anyone. That's his nickname. And he's living up to it and carrying on, as I mentioned in the interview, the legacy, I think, of Alexandre, which was, I'll literally fight anyone. I don't care. Number 11, that's who you want me to fight next? Sure. Great. Now he's number 1 and I'm going to face him, and that's what we saw tonight. So always good to see the belt change to someone who wants the same level of activity, because that can really hold up a division and make things a little boring. And in a division like Flyweight, where you need to have activity and you need to have exciting characters and dominant champions, I mean, this is potentially the start of that.
Yeah, it's not so often that you have a kid that comes in at 24 years old and has that confidence like him. But what my biggest takeaway with him that's most impressive is his maturity, how he has his priorities set, faith, family, and it doesn't seem like he's going to come away from that, because as a champion, those are one of those things that if you don't have if you're not grounded and you don't have a strong, small circle of good people that you could trust, it can kind of get away from you. You know, you start having these sleaze bags hanging around you. You start doing things you shouldn't be doing. But it sounds like he's in a really good spot. It's unfortunate the fight ended the way it did. But if you look at his Brandon Royval fight, which is the reason why he had this fight, we know how great he is. Mm-hmm. You know, he was so good in that fight, probably the fight of the year, at least one of them. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes, like I know, having a fight where Anderson Silva broke his leg on me, and it doesn't go the way you want, it kind of puts a chip on your shoulder, because there's going to be a lot of people on the internet that are unhappy that it finished this way. There's a lot of unanswered questions that people want to see answered, and so he's going to have to live with that, and that's going to stew inside of him and kind of make him a better fighter.
Yeah.
And that rematch could be coming soon. We don't know exactly what the injury is as of this moment, but it looked like it was kind of an elbow injury. And I take it to football with Jaden Daniels, who dislocated his elbow, and 5 weeks later he's going to be starting on a football field on Sunday. So who knows how long that could keep Pantoja out, I guess is my point in bringing it up. You know, he could be ready to fight in a few months. Yeah. If not, it looks like it could be Tatsuro Taira, who certainly put on a hell of a performance against the former champion, Brandon Moreno. And he has announced to the world that he is ready, and he is here, and he sat right there with his interpreter earlier tonight. What a performance in the second round against one of the best guys in the division, obviously. What was going through your head after the first round when you were locked in that reverse triangle for much of the round?
第1ラウンドに、 想像してなかった展開が続いて、1ラウンド落としたかもしれないと思って、もう10分間、5分2ラウンド、残りの10分間はもう攻め続けるって決めて、2ラウンドプッシュしました。
I say that first round, it was kind of unexpected things happening all over. I even thought I'd probably drop the first round. So last 10 minutes, I have to keep winning. That was what's going in my mind.
We've seen your ground game improve so much since you started training, doing small bits of your training in the US. In Denver, were you ever in an inverted triangle during training for that long? Like, how did you know how to work through it?
I don't have that experience. So long time triangle choke. 普段はトライアングルする側なんですけど、あんなに長くされたのは初めてかもしれないです。
Usually I'm the one doing it. I've never had it for that long.
True.
Did he notice right away that it wasn't on like the side where it's more of a choke? It was on inverted triangle choke. Did he notice right away, or it took him a second for him to realize, oh, I can fight this off here?
Japanese say side triangle. こう足引きつけられてる時にその股の下でクラッチされた時にこのチョークを知ってるんだと思って驚きましたね。だけど首の呼吸は確保できたので、なんとか大丈夫だったです。
When he grabbed that leg, in my mind I was like, oh, he knows this. So he's coming with this. But I was always confident because my neck was okay, I was breathing okay. So there was enough breathing room there.
So there was no point where he felt like he was going to have to tap.
タップしようって一瞬でも思ったことは全くない。
Never.
Was it him knowing that he's burning his energy in there? Was that making him stay in that position even longer because he knew he was going to have to really work his legs?
そうです。相手も望んでこの状況は疲れると思いましたし、あと相手に力を使わせたっていうのもあります。あと試合っていうのもあって慎重になった自分もいましたね。
I could definitely see like he's getting tired. Like it's a position that it's not easy. So I was like, yeah, we can keep going. He's gonna need a lot of energy to do that. So that's where I was. I try to be calm as possible.
You've just taken down the second-ranked guy in the division. You feel like you deserve a title shot. Is there one of these two that are getting ready to fight tonight who you would rather face?
I want to beat Pantoja first. So I want to go title shot next. So タイトルマッチは気になってるって。
I can't focus. I just want to see this.
I know your pain.
Pantoja first. Sorry, Chris, because of the legacy he's building at this division as champion?
Yes. 今回モレノと戦えたこともすごい嬉しかったんですけど、タグシリーズを見てその UFC フライ級をどんどん知っていったからパントージャと戦いたい。
Yeah, this fight against Brad Moreno was very honored. Such a pleasure, honor to be able to fight. The reason behind is I learned UFC flyweight, and when I was starting to join, the Ultimate Fighter was going on. So that's where it comes from. So I have all the respect to those fighters.
Okay. I love it.
Well, this fight's getting ready to go on. We want to let you watch it because I know you're very excited to watch it. So thank you for coming on.
Can we get a pick from him? Who does he think is going to win this fight?
Yeah, I think Pantoja. I think Pantoja. 今までのメディアもずっとパントージャが勝つって言ってきたけど、でもファイトウィーク中ジョシュア・バンと一緒になることが多くて、めちゃくちゃコンディション良さそうだった。何かもっといい気がするっていうのを伝えたいです。
I say Pantoja, but for like the past month, when all the interviews, I'm always answered Pantoja. But when the fight week came and I see Van, how good he's looking, I was like, okay, we never know. I mean, could be anyone's game.
The confidence.
Okay.
Agree.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Congratulations on a tremendous performance.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And in Tatsuro's only loss in the UFC, it was to Brandon Royval, and he was winning all of the exchanges on the ground. But when it came to the feet, he just couldn't get the edge, and ultimately that's why he lost the fight. So it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments he makes, especially training in Denver. There's elite strikers there, but it's a lot of gap to make up when you're fighting someone like Van.
Yeah, I mean, but in this fight tonight with Brandon Moreno, I thought his stand-up looked pretty good. Brandon Moreno's former champion who's been stood toe-to-toe with some of the best guys in the UFC for years. And he was right there with him on the feet. He battled some adversity in that first round, being stuck in that inverted triangle, got through it, tied up Moreno, and then he showed what he's great at.
Getting a TKO.
Getting a TKO on the ground. He looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of striking, Peyton Talbott's been known for his striking, right? Taking on a wrestler in Henry Cejudo, an Olympic gold medalist, and certainly put on a performance in Henry Cejudo's retirement fight that is one to remember and one that's going to launch him into the rankings now.
Yeah,
Sure.
you think you get a takedown on an Olympic champion, especially the patented inside trip that Cejudo's known for. I mean, let's not forget the reason why Merab fought for the title to begin with was he fought Henry Cejudo, and that was the first time we seen Henry Cejudo getting taken down was from Merab. So it really showed how good Talbott has evolved over these years.
I wish, well, there were cameras actually on us when he got the inside trip. You and I were like,
Oh, yeah.
was that just an inside trip?
That was crazy. It was
On the
perfect.
man who made it a thing.
Yeah.
A really incredible performance by Peyton. It feels like every time he fights, he gets a little bit better and a little bit better. And this was a big one because this was a bit of a defining moment for maybe the next generation, the next chapter of this division. Probably going to have a number 10 next to his name come Tuesday.
Yeah, you would think that he replaces Henry as the 10th ranked fighter in the division. And to see how he's leveled up in his ground game since that loss, the first loss of his professional career, he was so highly touted coming off of Dana White's Contender Series. He has the personality, he has the looks, and this was the next step in the progression for Peyton Talbott. What an unbelievable performance against one of the best to ever do it, somebody you've trained with before, and you look like you were having such a good time in the octagon, smiling, sticking the tongue out, the inside trip. What was going through your head throughout that fight?
Just exactly that, having fun. I've been saying it the whole week. It was just a huge honor to be in there with Henry. So, I wanted to treat it as such. And I thought that I was probably going to lose the first round and then start to open up and into the second and third. But from the get-go, it was just a great time. So
This was such a big moment for you, a big step up in competition against a huge name. How'd you deal with the pressure? Like, you went out there, you looked like you were just completely fine. Was it extra nerves compared to other fights?
No, I was like abnormally calm for this fight, actually. I think it's just because this is where I've wanted to be from the start. I've always said I wanted to be higher up in those rankings and just swim with the sharks, So I felt very at peace with where I was going to be.
Bro, the evolution of your game, I mean, obviously, I guess your game plan was to stop takedowns, but to hit your own takedowns, especially the inside trip, which Henry is known for. I don't know if he taught you that and then you used it on him anyway.
Yeah, man,
but,
I'm a little greedy.
was that part of your strategy that you were going to be offensively wrestling in this fight?
Not really. I just, the whole camp, we were just saying it would be so sick to hit him with his own thing.
Yo.
And actually, when I hit it on him, I'd said to him, I was like, I learned that shit from you. And
Did he say
Did he teach it to
I
you?
think he laughed. I just saw it from his channels.
Okay, yeah. You did everything. It was picture perfect, technically sound.
Thank you.
Inside trip. Yeah.
Thank you,
Head came over to the side. That was beautiful.
All of it.
Yeah. And then the double leg. Jeez.
Yeah, that was just a bonus.
Yeah, that was a bonus.
I got a little greedy. I got greedy later on, and I paid for it. But
yeah. But you got up. You got up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The commentary had at one point, maybe it was at the end of the fight, said really like a changing of the guards moment in this division, and you being the person that's stepping into that position. Like, what does it feel like for you to know that you represent this next generation?
Doesn't feel like much, honestly.
I had a funny feeling that was going to be your answer.
I don't know. It's kind of inevitable, like the baggy jeans being not cool, and then all of a sudden they're cool again, and the back and forth between baggy and skinny jeans. It's just, I'm just a cog in the wheel.
skinny jeans in the bantamweight division who know there was so much in common.
What a great analogy. I'd never really thought about
Yeah.
that.
Wait, so
before.
you're saying you stayed on baggy jeans the whole time, or you just saying that's
No,
how?
I actually used to wear skinny jeans.
Really?
I admit when I was a young boy.
Well,
but-
Chris still does. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can tell.
No, these
Famously,
are
actually,
these are
Chris
kind
still
of
does.
these are in the middle.
Actually, no, those are not bad.
These are
compared to
not
what he
bad.
usually
No,
wears.
I got
Yeah.
made fun of enough. I'm not doing skinny jeans.
I'm never going back to skinny. I will stay with the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do full baggy. When I was like in 5th, 6th grade, when you were like, you were probably
Oh,
like
here we go.
15,
Here's the old man joke.
18.
Yeah.
No, but that's the boss jeans, the big, those were in, and then they fell off fast though.
We're talking to someone who's going to be ranked number 10 in the world, most likely come Tuesday, and we're talking about jeans. Guys, come on.
Well, he brought it up.
Yeah,
was
he did
talking
bring it
fashion.
up, but you know.
He's a fashion guy.
Peyton, come Monday when you take the time to like really just decompress and pull apart your performance and really the way you approach this whole fight. What's the one thing you're going to be most proud of?
Probably just keeping my head the whole fight. I felt the temptation to try to have a little bit too much fun at times, and I think in the 3rd round I really was like, okay, I have to be smart here because he still has power and he's swinging for the fences a little bit and he's looking for one shot, and thankfully I was able to do that until like the
But you
last
did do
10
the Max
seconds.
Holloway at the end of the 3rd round, so I don't know if you were that worried.
Hey,
you
I had to give him.
you
I had
did
to
it.
give him his way out.
I
His
love that.
retirement chance.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick.
Yeah,
and
we love that.
were you surprised that he was able to absorb the shots he did and show that toughness?
A
and
little
still have
bit,
steam?
man. I was hitting him really hard. Like that. I was connecting on a lot of those, like as hard as I.
And the body shots.
Yeah.
Was that
landed
part of the
some
game plan?
nasty body
the
shots.
body shots, like going in?
Yeah, just going to the body. Yeah, for sure. He's older.
Because you were working the body on.
Yeah, I had to. But nobody's really finished him other than like Dom that one time. But
Don't look at the screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
sorry. To
We're-
people who are only listening, we
Oh.
are watching the moment that Alexandre Pantoja broke what looks like his
No.
left or right arm. I'm not very
It looks like he
good.
dislocated the elbow. This is bad. Oof.
Which means Joshua Van is the new flyweight champion. But back to you. That's got to be a tough way.
that sucks.
Tough way to change
That's
the
I'm calling it
crown.
now. They're gonna fight trilogy.
Okay. Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, Pantoja's gonna win the next one. Josh is gonna win the 3rd.
Okay.
Calling it now.
And your journey to the belt, what's that look like?
Oh, great
Can't call it.
transition. Great
Can't call it.
transition.
I
God,
should do
that was
this.
good.
I should
What
do
a
this
can't
for a
call
living.
I don't know.
Yeah, how many
Okay,
more
that's
fights
fine.
you think?
Just falling into it.
Well, who do you want next?
Just give me a striker. You know, I'm tired of the wrestling like scenario. I feel like I've proved myself.
You've leveled
now.
up in that
Yeah,
skill
so
set.
you know, I want to show people what I can do, and all I'm worried about is somebody strikes.
Yeah.
So
Okay, we love
yeah,
it.
give me a striker.
And now people can worry about your inside trips.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the wrestler now.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, let
you
me
look
take
like
down
the
a
wrestler
striker.
tonight. You did.
Yeah.
We love it. Well,
Awesome.
if you could choose, sorry, Dan, I really want to get a name out of you. Anyone in the top 10?
I don't know like who's below 5, so you'll have to tell me.
Okay, we've
Give me
got
somebody.
in the top 10, number 6.
Davison Figueiredo. somebody?
That's
Seriously?
yeah.
What is he?
Let's do Ayman Zahabi Cheeto Vera. Is a striker.
Yeah.
That'd be
Is
fun.
Zahabi a striker?
Yeah.
Didn't they just fight?
They did just fight.
Okay,
yeah,
that
yeah.
would be a good fight.
So,
of
either
those
one of
two,
them.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
7 and
he's-
8
he's
right
on
there.
a good streak.
Okay, we love it.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good challenge, I think. You deserve to just worry about.
You only
the
gave
strikes.
me 2 names.
I
All
know.
right.
Well, you want to keep going? Well, I'm
Well,
9. That's only
We,
one.
we
That's
have
only
we
one
have
spot
Davison
left.
Figueiredo at 6, and Song Yadong at 5, and then Sandhagen at 4.
Mario Batista is number 9.
Oh, is he?
That actually, I think, could be a banger.
That would be a good one. But he's a wrestler.
But he can strike.
He's
No?
a wrestler. He's
Okay,
a
well,
wrestler.
we'll see
I'd
how
be
he
down
holds
to
up
fight
against
him.
you.
I want to fight a striker.
Okay, all right. Well,
We gotta
let
find
the
a striker.
matchmakers do their job. then.
Yes,
How
we
about
will.
All right, could be Cheeto. It could be
Okay.
interesting. We'll
that?
see.
We'll see.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so we went over some potential future opponents for Peyton Talbott. No need to do that for the King of Cringe, Triple C, Henry Cejudo, as this is his official retirement fight. He is done for good this time, and what an incredible career for this guy. I mean, just one of the best of all time.
Yeah, as a combat athlete, to become a 2008 Olympic champion in freestyle wrestling, to become a 2-division champion in the UFC. So I hung out with him when I was a champion a long time ago. We were in a club and we sat next to each other. And he was just kind of up and comer at that point. And so we just started talking. And he was just the things he was telling me that he does, like takes blood tests every single week to see like where his levels are, to eat the certain food, different nutritionists and doctors that he has come in to like make sure that his camp is going well. I'm like, how the hell are you affording all this? And how do you like, why are you even focused on this stuff? It's like kind of stupid, but that's who he was. He was like a ultimate professional, kind of like a GSP who just checked every single box. And, you know, he had a hell of a career and we're going to miss him. He also made the divisions just so much more fun. You know, it's not easy to create this character and have just people starting to hate you, you know, trying to keep that flyweight division going. And it worked out. He brought the flyweight division back. He became a bantamweight champion as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unbelievable what he was able to accomplish.
Yeah, a student of the sports. I have to say plural sports. I mean, has combat sports career spanned almost 3 decades. He started wrestling when he was like 11, and I was actually there when he became the double champ, when he beat Marlon Moraes in Chicago. And I was sitting with his family because I've known Henry for 7 years. I worked for him before I worked for UFC. He actually encouraged me to chase this dream of mine. And I was sitting with my family, and his family, and we were close enough that we could hear him talk to the corner in Chicago, and he was getting his legs were beat up. And he goes and he tells all of his coaches, stop. I have to knock him out or I'm going to lose this fight. And 30 seconds later goes and does it. And just getting to witness the day-to-day of the preparation for that fight, how much he values his family, how much he values every single aspect of the sport. And he taught me a lot about not caring about what people think. And he does everything for himself, for his family. And this time, for sure, I know that this retirement is something that he can maybe find some peace in because he's doing it for the right reasons. The result tonight was not the result he wanted, but if you're going to go out on a fight, it better look like that. I mean, that was, if you could encapsulate 30 years of a combat sports career into 15 minutes, even into the second round, that is what Henry Cejudo is. The heart that we saw, I'm sure it inspired some people here and there. His career has inspired mine, even though I'm not an athlete. So the sport will definitely be different without him, but I'm sure we'll get one last cringy speech at the Hall of Fame ceremony, whenever that might be.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, one guy that's not going anywhere anytime soon is Jan Błachowicz. Didn't end with the victory that he had hoped for, another draw, which seemingly has happened to him a lot lately. 2 of his last 4 fights have been draws, but 42 years old, still hanging with guys, 10 years his junior, and he was kind enough to sit down with us here just a few minutes ago. Jan draws in 2 out of your last 4, a split decision in there as well. And you did that, right? You smiled at the end. Did you know that was coming? Was it frustrating? What was the feeling going through your head?
You know, I don't care about decision anymore. You know, I used to that. What can I do? I try do my best, try to finish him in last round. He catch me in second round very good, but I survived. You know, I was in hell, but I coming back to talk about that. How was it? And I almost have him in third round, but 5 seconds more.
Did you think going into the third round, in between the second and third, did you think that could be possibly a 10-8? Were your coaches saying
You know, I was a little bit in different world, you know, after second round, so I don't think. I just have to go and do it, my job. Yeah. I don't think what's happened.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened.
You're marching these young guys down at 42 years old. I mean, you won the first, won the third after dealing with adversity, still at 42. What's your secret?
I love it. I'm a warrior. I just love to do it. And that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's not special secret, you know.
Yeah. Well, you stopped weightlifting? Was that something
Yeah.
that you... So why, what's the
I
thought
do
process
lifting,
with
but
that?
now I start lifting again, you know. Because when I do my camp and I start lifting, I feel pain everywhere. And my sparring session, my wrestling session are very bad. So
just because the soreness and stuff messed up your training?
Now, when I'm not in the preparing for the fight, now I have to build my power straight. And after, I stop.
You look great, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You talked about not really being attached to the decisions anymore. And how has this mindset shift, probably over the last 3 years, right, really kind of just changed how you approach these fights and how you approach the rest of your
You know,
career?
first and second, when the decision was very close, I was very annoying. But now, what can I do? Nothing. I'm not changing. Now it's too late. So that's it. You know, I don't know what to say about this. I try to, you know, don't live, you know.
In the past?
Yeah. No, I try to win before time. I don't want to, you know, make decision. But Guskov is tough, young guy. You know, he know what to do. He know where he can be in future. So. Yeah, it is what it is.
You prove a lot about yourself as an athlete and a person in these fights, and even if the decisions don't necessarily go your way, you know what you accomplished in there, and people who watched the fight know what you accomplished in there. Do you take anything away tonight that you're really proud of?
I'm happy that I survived second round, you know. So yeah, I'm tough. That's it.
Yes, you are pretty tough.
Old but not obsolete, you know.
Yeah.
You've said you do this not because you have to, but because you want to, because you still enjoy it. But you've also alluded to the fact that there are changes you've had to make during camp, right? You're not lifting weights during camp. You can't do things the same way you did 10 years ago.
But this don't change anything, you know. I still love it, you know. It's my life. I do this whole my life. I started when I was 9 years old. I go to judo class, you know. What I have to do after, you know. I know what I'm gonna do after, but anyway, you know, one day I wake up and cannot do this. So when I can, I will do it, you know.
Does it mess with your confidence at all? Because are you working as hard as you did and as often as you did when you were younger versus now? Is it less work going in because you have to listen to your body and things like that?
I have to train much smarter, listen my body much more than, you know, 6, 7 years ago when I was in my prime. Now I will kill myself, you know. I will meet but now I've got just, you know, the character and the experience, you know.
And then how do you deal with the mental aspect of knowing that I'm not training like I used to, as far as the confidence going in there?
But I find the way how to train, not like before, but we find the way with the coaches, the team, how to do it, and it's working, you know. So
clearly is working. 42 professional fights.
Soon 43.
Soon 43.
Yeah.
With the best guys in the world.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
really.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it.
I think I know you still have plenty of gas left in the tank, so you obviously are not done. But I think I know when you are done, you're gonna be coaching your son. There's a lot. He's already started, right?
I start coaching him, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I come back, I need to fight against him, you know. I show him MMA event twice, and now when we coming back from kindergarten, you know the place when
school.
Yeah. Now we do 3 rounds. My Dorota, she is our referee. And then we've got small mud in his room, you know. We're just fighting.
I love it.
What's
I bet
his
wrestling.
best?
He's doing judo?
Judo.
No wrestling?
Wrestling with me.
Okay.
He got his coach. He going to judo class.
See, that's where I was going with the question. You don't have to hit me in the back of the head. That wasn't very nice.
Is he striking at
Oh,
all?
you're being rude.
A little bit.
What's his best strike?
I think left hand. But
Legendary.
Legendary. But he's good because he don't know what position to take. You know, he's good in the southpaw and orthodox.
Oh, okay.
He don't choose his position yet.
Oh my gosh, so much to look forward to. You said soon 43, so you've got some stitches. I think you've earned the right to take a little bit of time, but when can we expect to see you back?
Now Christmas time.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy Christmas.
A little bit, you know. Today I have to enjoy Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
We will see, you know. I need, you know.
What do you think that it's a rematch? Do you think it's someone else, a bigger name up in the front of the division?
We will see what's gonna happen. We have to talk with them, and we will see what they propose, what they're gonna give it to us. You know.
Yeah.
The legendary Polish power lives to see another fight. I love it. Congratulations! It was a fun fight to watch, and man, that final 10 seconds, you really made a statement.
Oh my gosh! The jabs are still dropping people. Basically, it's crazy. Your jab is a problem.
Awesome.
Legendary.
Thank you, Jan.
Legendary. Thank you.
Always fun to have the legendary Polish power in the house. Even though things didn't go exactly the way he wanted, it's so fun to chat with him.
Top 3 most optimistic fighters on the roster. And if you think about what he's been through in the last 3.5 years, I mean, the optimism has probably carried him through a lot of these moments. And now he's at the point where he's like, you know what, I just like to fight. And I like to show that I can bang with these dudes 10 years younger than me, and I'm not really concerned with the decision. That's the key to longevity, I think, maybe.
Well, especially when he says he doesn't have to, he wants to, right? Yeah. Like not everybody's in that position, and it's cool to see a guy at 42 still want to fight.
He still loves it, and I don't want people to get confused. Like because he has these decisions and they're close, like it's boring. He brings it every single time. Every time.
Yeah.
The draw with Ankalaev, maybe that's a little suspect. I think people thought that wasn't as fun, but if you look at the Pereira fight, the Oldberg fight, and this fight, it was super entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Split decision with Alex. All right, winners of the night. There's a lot to choose from here. It's a horn of plenty, as they say. Weidman, let's start with you.
I'm going Peyton Talbott. I don't know how you don't go with him. He just keeps evolving. We've seen him showcase his skills on the feet before, but we've seen his wrestling was a little suspect. He answered all those questions tonight, showcased his stand-up once again, but now taking down an Olympic gold medalist the way he did, he's got everything figured out, moving into the top 10.
I'll tell you how you don't go with him. If you're going with Ivo Baranevsky in his debut, getting a finish and getting a performance bonus. Hey, 50 grand means a lot to everybody, but especially means a lot when it's in your debut. So, huge night for Ivo against Ebo.
It was awesome. That was
a fun
insane.
one.
That might be one of the best
on that
first rounds I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I got to go with Macy Barber because she has had a heck of a nearly 2 years, 2 years without any activity. She's trained. She's gone through camps. The fights haven't come to fruition. One was an injury. One was a main event that, just minutes before the walk, she had some health issues. She's had to overcome a lot. And we talked to her this week, and she was really emotional. And that can kind of, not raise a little bit of a red flag where you're like, ooh, those emotions are either going to drive you or they might get in the way. And so I was really happy to see her do exactly what she said she was going to. She's like, I'm a really angry person right now, and I want to use that in this fight, and I want to get back on track, and I want to start working toward the title again. So just one of those feel-good things. It's good to see her back.
The future
and especially
is
still
back.
in the win column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The future is back and the future is bright, right?
Oh my
2026 around the corner. The holiday season has almost arrived. What do we want to see Santa bring us in terms of matchups in 2026?
Ooh, I got a good one. John Jones versus Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira called him out on our show first
He did.
place that he mentioned John Jones' name. And I think we get it done at the White House in June. I think that would be amazing. We got Aspinall and Cyril Gane. They got their thing going on.
Cyril
I talked
Gane.
to Cyril Gane, and he says his name is Cyril, like in like the English language.
You are so full of
It's the
shit.
French accent.
If you speak French, you
Do
say
you speak
Cyril.
French?
In English, you
Parlez-vous
speak English, you
français?
have to say Cyril. That's what he said. He actually corrected me. So we got to wait for Aspinall's eye to be taken care of. We're going to want to see a rematch for that belt. So in the meantime, John Jones and Alex Pereira. Pereira wants to go up and weight. Let's make that happen.
All right. Well, you kind of halfway stole mine, but I want to see Cyril and Tom because I feel like Tom has a chip on his shoulder now, right? He has something he wants to prove. He didn't like the way that it went down. And if we have that one at the White House, I know neither one of them is American, but we're just trying to make that the best card of all time. I think that could be.
Yeah, neither one of them is American. I'm pretty sure at least one person has to be from America to fight on the
I
White
don't
House
think there's
card.
any specific
the
rules
requirement?
about the White House card.
No, I think that's going to be the way it works.
The All-American
Oh, really?
makes the
So
rules.
the All-American's making the rules.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, he picks up the bat phone, calls up Trump.
Call me
Prez,
boss.
what do you think?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
If you're thinking of the next challenge for the champion, Islam Makhachev, Shavkat Rakhmonov coming back from an injury. He's been away for a while. I've heard that February might be the time. Laura Sanko brought it up in our last episode of About Last Fight. So that too, I think the first title defense at welterweight, that would be an absolute banger.
Yes.
Speaking of the last episode of About Last Fight, the next episode of About Last Fight going to be right here at T-Mobile, UFC 324 on January 24th. But until then, we're all going to take a break. We're going to enjoy the holidays. We have one more event.
Let me do it.
No,
keep talking. I want to see if you could do it while you finish.
No,
Don't mess up. Keep
let's
going.
listen.
Leave him alone.
This is
We
not
made
the
it this
weigh-in
far.
show, okay? You've already hit me once during the show. If you're watching the video podcast version, he didn't like my question for some reason, so he smacks me in the back of the head.
Well, it's
Dan's
rude.
going to take some time during these next 6 weeks and learn some self-defense. And when we come back here in January, it's on.
He does have his white belt now.
One
Thanks to
stripe.
Tackett.
Yeah, one stripe. Thank you, Andrew Tackett. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's been so much fun. I love these guys. I love this show. We will see you next year in January, right here.
Yeah.